What is going on, everybody? It's Tactical Security and Defense. You're locked in to Bulletproof Sunday Live Talk. Today is how do we protect our kids while they're in school, part two. We had such a good discussion, man, and I had to do a part two, and plus I started kind of late, so and I think people still had some pretty good things to say, and so I definitely want to bring a part two back. People was giving examples and stuff like that, and what we think would be the best way to protect our children. I don't know what the hell going on my hand. But anyways, I'm feeling like my damn lizard upstairs for some reason. But yeah, it's part two. Like I said, very good discussion last week. What up, though? OG locked in. Y'all go support OG, man. He got some real good seasoning and barbecue sauce that he does, man. Definitely go check him out. Go order some stuff from him. I was able to taste some of his seasoning in Texas. Not Texas, I'm sorry, y'all. Tennessee. Real good seasoning. So definitely go check him out. Go support the brother. Silverback, what's going on, family? Kevin, what's going on? So y'all definitely go check him out. Go support that brother in his efforts. Hopefully we can make that help him make that a franchise where he can pump out massive amounts of that good seasoning and that good barbecue sauce that he does, man. So definitely go support the brother. In his entrepreneurship and becoming a big company, man. So definitely go support him. Oh man, what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think that we can help protect our children while they're in school? Some people made a good point about homeschooling. If you can't homeschool, that's a great option. Uh, another parents getting together and writing out their own curriculum for their children was a good idea that somebody had as well. Um, um, or having fathers stand outside the school um, and be our own entity of security while our children in school. Fathers that can't do it. That was another option that somebody had put on the table last week. So it's many things that can be done with protecting our babies while they're at school, or there's things you can do outside the school with protecting your babies. We have options. Depends on what option you want to utilize for your own children. But I know mine goes to school because their mother works during the day, and my hours vary. I come in early, sometimes 2 hours early, sometimes an hour early. So my schedule is not steady. So Jovan, what's going on, brother? Um, so that's just our options here at my house to get into the schoolhouse, and they have had very good teachers, both of my children, since they've been in school. So we communicate with the teachers. Teachers know us by name. They know if they have any problems with ours, to give either ones a call, and we'll straighten them up right then and there. So you definitely have to be involved. Know who your children's teachers are. if you can volunteer your time. But I don't know about COVID. With COVID still going on, I know they in my children's school, uh, they won't even let you come in and pick up your child. They'll have you sign the paperwork right outside the doors, and they'll go get your child and bring them to the door. And that's just what it's been the last 2 years with the school system. So, and ours haven't went back here in Michigan. They don't go back to beginning of this month, so they go back, well, the beginning of next month in September, which is the latest they have ever started. They have ever started here in Michigan. They usually start right after Memorial. Is that Labor Day? Maybe it's what I'm thinking, Labor Day. So yeah, this is definitely the latest my children has gotten to the school, as late as the end of August, beginning of September. So you definitely got to learn how to adjust. The ones that work in the morning, it's a one-parent home. They don't have that luxury. But y'all let me know what y'all think. But that was just some of the things we discussed last week. When y'all come in, hit that like, subscribe button for me, please. Be greatly appreciated, man. Appreciate everybody rocking with me on a Sunday evening. Once I'm done, definitely go check out Erica, Billy, and Alex on My Five Family. They'll be on at 7. I want to say 7 Eastern. I could be wrong. I could be right, but I think it is 7. So definitely, once you get done with me and checking me out, definitely go support that family. They have finally went live, and they have definitely supported me since I've been live. So I always go back and show my love and appreciation for those who support me. So definitely go support them 3 as they come on at 7 today. Where's my phone? I'll give you the subject that they're doing today. Let's see. In a minute, I'm going to throw that link out, man, so y'all can jump in here if you want to. I am doing some drawing up for some YouTubers, so just trying to get my drawing out here as well. Where is it? Growing Pains of Owning Firearms is going to be there live. For My Fly Family. It's going to be there live today. Go check them out. Especially Billy has definitely supported me in doing some of my thumbnails, doing all my thumbnails for my line. So most definitely. So what do y'all think, man? What throw some suggestions in the chat. I'm about to drop this link if you want to jump on. I am not going to be on here all day. I am going to cut it short. I said 1 to 3, but I have to go to work, so it's going to be 1 to 2. So the earlier you get in, you're able to get in here and, jump on the panel if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. If you just want to mess around and just type in the chat, you're more than welcome to as well. Go support. I'm going to give out everybody that I know that's doing YouTube. Regular Gun Guy, he comes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Let's go. Tactical Turkeys come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights. I don't know why I'm having a fart blank, y'all. Guns and Barbecue, I think he comes on Monday, Wednesdays, and I want to say Thursdays. Thursdays or Fridays, one of them days. I want to say Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday is what I want to say. Um, who else comes on? Barbecue comes on at I want to say 1 or 2 o'clock on Saturdays. My Five Family at 7 on Sundays, and then I come on at 1 o'clock. I'm trying to think of anybody else that do lives. Um, the pimp, she does pre um recorded live, so go check her lives out. Man, I'm having a brain fart, y'all. Check them out so far. Next week I have a lineup of who comes on at what time and all that good stuff. That's just off the top of my head. Um, well, I thank the 5 that's in here right now. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for coming through and supporting the brother. Uh, like I said, another thing that I think we should do as far as if your children are in school, and we're talking about more like the mass shootings really is basically what we're talking about, how to protect our children in a mass shooting. Instead of being able to break the window, um, I don't know if you're familiar with school buses, but school buses, if they have a crash, they have a door in the back of the bus where you pull the yellow latch down and you kick the door and you're able to get out the back of the school bus. I think we should have that kind of on the window, or at least 1 or 2 windows in each classroom. Uh, so if there is a mass shooting, and the only reason I say is because with the Texas shooting and police officers not wanting to go in there and take that, I mean, he's pretty much a terrorist to me because he picked on little children. We can't expect some police officers to put their life on the line, and that's even with our own children. So to kind of avoid that situation, maybe not maybe, but instead of window going up and down, put a whole window, put that yellow latch down there, so either so the teacher can pull that latch and kick that window out and get our students out that classroom before there's any, how I want to say this, any harm done to our children. Um, on the second floor, third floor, or the fifth floor, or the fourth floor, how many floors they have? I think normally they don't. A lot of schools don't go past 3 floors. So you would do the same thing upstairs. Give them 2 windows, hit that latch, kick that window out. And I don't know if you're familiar with people that do houses or do home improvement or apartment buildings, but when they're remodeling, they usually have a tunnel chute that they throw all the debris down into the garbage can. Some way, somehow, maybe once you kick that window out, have that tube on top of the window. Maybe she could pull some, untie some. That tube comes down. She unties something. That tube goes down to the ground, and they're able to get out that way. That's the cheapest I can see, really, right now, that I can say can be an immediate change in each school in the United States, man. And I think that would make a hell of a difference when it comes to saving our children. Couple put one of the windows in, maybe cost them a couple $100. The tubing maybe a couple dollars, but it got to be kind of like reinforcement tubing. Can't be nothing bull crap. So you're talking a couple $100 for a tube. So that could be a quick change during the school year this year for many other schools. And I believe the cheapest way and the fastest way we can kind of do that now, to where we can pretty much save more our children in these particular situations. Because the laying down, play like you're asleep, that's not working anymore. And I'm a father first. Anything. Before I'm a gun owner, before I'm a husband, I'm a father first. And that's just how I'm thinking as far as a right now solution. That's true too. Misunderstood at 22. How you doing? Uh, yeah, that's true too. The school systems, man, I can honestly say by me moving out here where I am, um, getting to know your children's teachers and getting a feel of your children's teachers, you can kind of tell where they're gonna go during the school year. Matter of fact, one of my son's teachers ended up teaching my daughter last year or the year before. Um, and they have anytime we message them or we need them to get back to us, they're pretty much Johnny on the spot with us because we make ourselves known. Yeah, we definitely most definitely these times. Um, so you know just making your presence to me known and like I think this year right before school started they had a you can go get books. So my daughter woke me up like, Dad, let's go get. We need to go. They're having a book drive. So we went up to the school, picked out a couple books that they could read during the summer. Um, and you know the one of the security guards from my son's middle school was up there, and the principal was up there, and the principal called me by name, Mr. Sims. So a lot of parents, you have to be involved when it comes to your children and what's going on at the school. Um, I'll tell you an incident with my son, and I had to go up there and I had to pretty much get into a parent's ass about my child. 2 years in a row, this young lady was in my son's classroom. First year, she was grabbing on my son and to my son's book bag. Um, we told the mother, don't worry about it. Just make sure your daughter can keep her hands to herself, um, and we'll be okay. So we let that go. Second year, she was in his classroom again. I'm like, oh shit. So my son and my wife was, I don't want to say getting into it, but they was going back and forth about a Pokemon poster that she told him not to take to school. Long story short, after a while, my wife said, go ahead, take it to school. I don't care anymore. Um, Taking it to school, I think they was at lunch. The little girl asked him to see the poster. My son told her no. She proceeds to take it from my son and rips it. Uh, we go pick him up. He comes home. He's very upset about the ripping of his poster. Well, we had to address the reason why his poster was ripped. Your poster is ripped because you didn't listen to your mother. That's the first and foremost thing. If you would listen to your mother, your poster wouldn't have got torn. It would never been in school. So we had to teach him that lesson first. Do what your mother tells you to do. She's telling you to do something for a reason. So I had to have at that point, I needed to sit down with either the child's mother or the child's father. It didn't make me no difference. I need to talk to one of them. So um, I end up going to the I end up going to the office. We end up having a meeting. And let me tell y'all something. This mother walked into school with pajama pants on. Pajamas. Literally pajamas. Like she just rolled out of bed and came up here. So we getting there with the behavior specialist, which is a male. He said, what's going on? She gonna say, well, he called the meeting once you asked him. I said, okay. Well, I said, I got a problem with your daughter, her daughter putting her hands on my son. We had no more incidents with this young lady. She don't seem to understand the word no. So the mother proceeds to say, well, mean what you say and say what you mean. Be aggressive with my daughter. I said, what? You want my son to be aggressive? I said, my son's not here to be aggressive towards anybody. My son's here to learn, get what he needs from school, and get the hell on. I said, being aggressive to your daughter is not what I sent my son up here to do. So we kind of had some words. Wasn't no cussing or nothing, but we had some words. But hey, Guns and Barbecue, when is your type in your schedule for your lives? I think it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Am I correct? Or Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays? I can't remember. I was trying to remember when it was. I couldn't remember. What's up, Guns and Barbecue? What's up, The Pimp 1984? What's up, Guns Don't Argue? And what's going on, Howard J? Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys. I ain't gonna be here long. I'm out of here at 2. I'm supposed to be out of here at supposed to be out here at 3, but I gotta leave a little early and go to work a little early. But I'm gonna drop this link again. Hey, Pimp. Nah, Pimp, we good. She ain't he in middle school now. But that's just a little situation we had when he was in elementary. Some girl, everybody keep on saying, yeah, she like him. I said, oh, that's probably what it is then. Whatever. Shout out to Pimp, man. I found out she's a social worker, so she knows a little bit about these children and some of their. All right. It's Tuesdays at 1:10 Eastern, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays 11 p.m. Eastern. So go check out my 2A brother, Guns and Barbecue. He goes live 3 times a week. That is his schedule down there, so definitely go check that brother out. He's been supporting me as well. But yeah, we had to kind of nip that in the bud with that young lady. But yeah, some children, man, they just a lot of it don't start at home. A lot of it starts with them being at school. Yeah, she's definitely right. Definitely shout out to the Pimp and the work she's doing. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. That's 11 p.m. Tuesdays. Guns and Barbecue go on. Wednesdays at 2 and Thursdays at 11. So definitely go check him out. Definitely a cool brother, man. Somebody's been rocking with me for a while. But okay, we got somebody that's gonna check you out. Guns and Barbecue, my sister, the Pimp. So that's his live schedule. Definitely go check him out. But yeah, social working and dealing with these kids, and it's not the kids' fault. It's the people that's supposed to be raising them that's doing a poor job or raising these children. Some of them are not doing poor. It's just their work schedule and trying to provide for the family sometimes gets in the way. And I have that situation with me, especially with a house. You're trying to maintain a house. You're trying to make sure the bills get paid. So life sometimes pass you right by. You're not even paying attention. And I had a situation with my son last year. And, I had to sit down and realize what I was doing wrong. But he decided to run away. He just one day decided, I don't want to be at home no more. I'm tired of being at home. Went to go pick him up at the bus stop. And I ain't recognize that he took off. My son don't just take off when you get out the bus. So he just decided to take himself and just take off. My daughter said, that's Jamal. I believe that's Jamal. I said, no, that ain't Jamal. Jamal usually come up, say hi and get off the bus and cross the street. So I'm like, that ain't Jamal. So I waited about 5 minutes. So I'm like, well, maybe you're right. So I mess around. I go down the street, and he goes to turn, and I said, "That is that little knucklehead." So I yelled at him. I told him to bring his butt back over here. He says, "What?" So y'all, I went off. I ain't gonna lie, I went off on him. I went off on him bad. So I get him to come here. So as I'm walking back home, now my honor calls his auntie, his grandfather. So we all trying to figure out what's going on with him. So my grandfather meets us at my house. My wife gets off work early, so we get home. Mind you, I had a headache. Mind you, got out of school at 3:30, so I probably had a headache from 3:30 to 8. I might have had my chest was hurting. I was just all jacked up. So I think everybody said I might have had a panic attack or something like that. I think I had a panic attack because my chest was hurting so bad. But my chest probably didn't stop hurting until about 8 o'clock that night. So I had to sit down. I had to listen to them. Sometimes as parents, we got to sit down. We got to listen to what our children are telling us. Um, and you know, I had to sit down and really listen to what he had to say. Instead of, and once I got home, I calmed myself down. I kind of had to listen to what he was feeling and how he was feeling. So we had a chance for him to talk. He said 2 or 3 things. He was all over the place. Don't get me wrong. He was all over the place. So I had to go to work. So I said, well, we'll talk later, son. And later on we did, but he just wanted to spend time with me. So I have to, like last night when I got home, even though I was tired, dog tired, we sat out in the garage and watched Jurassic Park, the newest one that came out last year or this year, one or two. And we sat out there and we had a good time. We watched Jurassic Park. So I'm learning that. I mean, he got mopeds. He done had 2 hoverboards. He did, you know, I figured give them everything they want, but that's good and dandy. That's fine. You know, I never got any of the stuff that I, you know, got my children. I always made sure when I became a father that if I'm blessed to bless my children, that's what I'm gonna do. So, I mean, he has the CT 100 mini bike that I bought him last year. Him and his sister. But he wanted time, so I had to sit back. I had to understand how he was feeling and where he was coming from. So definitely, people don't just yell at your children. Sit them down, have a talk with them. Get to see what they're, get to listen, learn to listen, and see what they're going through. Because children, we all tend to lose that children have voices too. And I lost that. I'm not gonna lie, I lost that with my son. You know, so they have feelings, they have voices, they have opinions as well. We have to learn to, you know, even though we vow to take care of them and make sure they have what they need, we still have to understand that they are children with feelings, children with opinions, and that we sometimes have to sit down and just have a little talk with them. So we end up talking, and we're good today. But him running away made me realize that even though I give him the world, I work hard, I work long hours, but that's just not enough. That he wants to, he said he doesn't know me. I think that 2 weeks later we went to the movies, we saw Batman, we sat in there for about 2 hours. I think that Batman movie was almost 2 to 3 hours. So we sat there, we watched the movie. So I'm learning that time, and I tell a lot of people now, especially with my children, you can't, once that time is gone, once that time has passed by, you can't get that time back. So I kind of had to reinvent myself as a father and actually be like, okay, I am doing something wrong. You know, he's not saying this. He's not running away just to be running away. He has a good life, but with that good life, I'm not there enough He wants to know his father. So that's just me, um, and me trying to be um, learning from my dad's mistakes and me trying to be a better father. Um, I didn't spend a lot of time with my dad, and that, and that's probably just a mistake. That my dad was more about making the money, providing a roof over our head. So I didn't get to play baseball with my dad. And I didn't get to throw the ball around with my dad. When I got old enough to be able to push a lawnmower on Saturdays, me and my dad spent time cutting yards, making money. That's how just me and my dad spent time. So as a father now, I appreciate spending that time with him, but I wish it would have been more throwing the ball. Maybe going to the park, tossing the ball around. The baseball, the football. Maybe going to play some hoops. But that doesn't make my dad a bad dad. It's just my dad didn't have his dad, so even though my dad was there, it's still like he wasn't there. But I vowed to not make the same mistakes that he did. And one thing I could say about my son, he made me realize that I was making the same mistakes that my dad made with me. So children can tell you a lot, and that's why I believe um, I'm becoming a better father through my son. Ultimately through my son. I love my dad. Man, my dad has a wonderful relationship. But I just wish it would have been more me and him going in the front yard throwing a basketball, or maybe him taking me to the park and let's go shoot some hoops. But one thing my dad taught me was to work. Um, if you're going to make babies, make sure you um, are able to take care of them. And make sure you don't go to jail, because you go to jail, don't call me. Whatever you did, you're going to serve your time. So shout out to my dad for teaching me life lessons. What's going on, Robert? Oh, no problem. Guns and barbecue for sure. Um, I wish we had more old school dads. It definitely takes a village, man. And I'm doing, man. I'm spread it so thin with my wife's friend kids. Their fathers are not there. Matter of fact, I got my wife's cousin daughter. She's starting Renaissance here in Michigan. She'll be in high school, and her mother wants me to teach her how to drive. So, my niece, I taught her how to drive. So it definitely takes, especially with these young women, takes some men to take some time out to spend some time with them. Um, Another thing I don't do is I don't go to my daughter's cheerleader competitions, but she has become so good that they want her to travel. They want her to travel doing gymnastics. But if me and her mother is not going, I really don't want her to go because of just things that's going on here in the world. Yeah, that's true, pimp. They definitely want that time. Yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely missing my daughter's games. She's definitely, yeah, they definitely differ from us. You're right, pimp. Because my dad was nonsense when I was coming up. My dad was either yes or no, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. You did what adult told you to do, or you was gonna get it. Yeah, and my dad was the same way. Definitely a provider. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same thing with my kids as my daddy taught me. If you do it, go serve your time. I'm gonna love you regardless. But don't expect me to put my house and nothing up to get you out. That's not happening. Yeah, that's true, barbecue. Like I said, it's definitely a life lesson learned. Yeah, OG, that's true, man. They want my daughter to be on the some competition team, and they travel. So if anybody gonna have to do it, it's probably gonna have to be my wife because I make 80% of the income that comes to this house comes to me. So yeah, as far as the income and being a provider, 80% of that load falls on my shoulders. So I hate to go to work all the time, but I house ain't cheap. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You get into a house ain't cheap. I've been in my house going on 3 years. It's definitely not cheap, man. So definitely take the time out because you can tell, and I noticed this when my son was in a head start. You can tell the teens the children at that age what they're pretty much going through in their household. You can tell the ones that's unstable. You can tell the ones that's got an issue with somebody in the household. You can tell that. And I learned that by volunteering when my son was in Head Start um, on pretty much that body language and what's going on at home. Some are, dressed good, but they're not getting attention from the parents. All they worry about is putting Gucci on their feet. All they worry about is putting a Gucci jacket on their children. And sending them to school and expecting school to be their parents. That's just, some of them are dealing with daddy issues. Dads are not there. Dads are not coming by to see their children. So that affects the children, promising you're gonna be there and then not show up. You can tell at a young age pretty much what they're going through. And a lot of them just want to sit down and talk. I had a good talking with a couple of the kids. Yeah, OG, hey, it definitely ain't cheap. You're absolutely right. Definitely ain't cheap. But I took it on that responsibility as a man, and I've been doing it for quite some time because I'll tell y'all this: my wife hasn't worked. She just now maybe a year to 2 years ago started working. Once my guns, I mean, what's up, Arthur Ant like guns? But when my kids was little, my wife didn't work. My wife didn't touch a job, so I've been kind of used to taking on a financial load for my family. Because I told her, long as my kids are not in school, uh, I need you home. And she agreed. Uh, was she with it at first? No. Was she scared? I'm quite sure she was. You know, depending on somebody to make sure she get what she wants, gets what she needs, and still be able to provide for the family. So I definitely know it was scary for her, um, not knowing if I was gonna be an a-hole or was I was gonna stand up to my word and do as I said I was gonna do. So but now she's working because my kids are in school. She wanted to make a little money, so she's working. But you definitely have to you definitely have to, as a man, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. And I've been that way with my wife for as long as I know. Uh, I even told my wife to go back to school, and I take care of the financial load. So she went back to school, got her some certificates in office work, secretary work. You know, why financially kept us above float. You know, but it's nobody but God that's definitely to help me keep my word and be solid in what I say when I say it. So definitely, fellas, if you're gonna say something, be about what you say. Don't just say it, just be saying it, but be solid when you say it. And so for a long time, my wife didn't work because I told her I would take care of that financial load as long as she do what she needed to do. And she went back to school. Um, she took care of my children, so she's definitely been solid. And in that solidness, I had to be solid because I said I was going to do something, and I did it. And I've been doing it ever since. She wanted the house, got her a house. So you know, it's definitely males. If a woman can trust you, a woman is made to trust you, but you keep on giving her empty ass promises. Eventually, she ain't gonna rock with what you say. So you definitely got to be solid in what you say. And I am blessed to say that I've been solid with my wife, especially with the financial part. Yup, I am. I don't know what's going on. My hands are peeling like crazy, and it's irritating. Uh, that's true, pimp. She ain't agree with everything that I said or did, but she can come on here and tell you 90% of what I've done and what I said I done completed. So that's just like now. She's I've been driving, and she just turned the car in. So my wife now, she was driving a Journey, a 2019 Journey. She was ready to turn it in. She didn't want it no more. She didn't really want the car to begin with. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. She didn't want the car to begin with, but at the time we needed a car, so that was the car we ended up going with. When we bought her car about was going to buy her car about 3 years ago. So she started. That was talking about buying her car. So after a while, we got to looking, and she saw a Traverse that she wanted. So now she's driving a 2020 Traverse. So she has her house. Kids are getting well taken care of. So, but it was a stipulation to me helping her co-sign for this car. My wife loves to travel. But the deal was, if we get this car, you can't travel for a year and a half. That's this year and all the next year. She's not able to travel. And the reason why I did this to my wife, and it's not to be funny, not to tell her, not to control what she does, but she has credit cards. So the deal is, you get your credit within this year and a half by you not traveling and you not financially committing to trips. You should be able to pay at least one or two of them cars off by the end of next year. That was the purpose of me telling her, if I sign as a co-signer for this new truck, because in 2 years or 3 years, I was going to get me a car. But my car, I think they're saying 7 years for her to pay her car off. So I'm waiting on top of that 3. Now I have to wait another 7 years in order to get me a decent car. I mean, I got a car to get me back and forth to work, stuff like that. But That's the deal. So she took the deal. She said, okay, I get to Traverse. I won't travel for a year and a half. And I said, well, concentrate on getting your credit cards now. Somebody has to have in a relationship. And I'm not saying my wife is not solid. She's definitely solid. But somebody has to kind of pull somebody back and be like, okay, we need to pay some stuff off. Instead of always traveling, always doing stuff. And that's even with my guns. This year, I might get one more gun. But majority of my money is going to be paying off my credit cards. I think I got one in a hole, one that's up there, and then I got one I just put. I had to do something, so I had to get them a nice amount of money to get out of something. So by the end of next year, all three of my credit cards should be almost, or one should be paid off, and the other one will be almost paid off within a year and a half. So that's the thing we're doing. I'm not buying any guns. She's not traveling for a year and a half, and we are solely committed on getting some stuff paid off, and kind of getting ourselves out the red. Yeah, I mean, she wanted it, so that was the deal. I said, be a co-host. As long as you understand you're not traveling for a year and a half. And with that year and a half, let's try to get some of this, get ourselves out the red a little bit. So that was my goal, And she could have kept her car and could have traveled. She could have kept her journey and traveled. That was up to her. That was a decision that she had to make within herself. If I co-sign for this, I mean, I don't get my car for another 7 years, which I'm willing to hold off. You can't travel for a year and a half. So on both ends, I thought that was a great deal. And I'm not, like I said before, I don't tell my wife what to do, where to go. But in that instant, if you want me to co-sign, then you have to give something back as well. And the thing that she had to get back was traveling for a whole year and a half. So, but yeah, um, that's what I think, man. Well, I'm gonna kind of segue into something else. And I think my sister, the pimp, is gonna. I'm gonna see if she willing to be a guest next week, because what I'm gonna talk about is dealing with our children, and I gonna give y'all a little sneak peek of what we're gonna talk about next week. Is schools. I don't know, put it. Are teachers more our children, parents, or our teachers? Is the school system a daycare or a learning? No, no, not learning. Is schools home or an educational facility? And what I mean by that is, are they parents or teachers? Um, and that's why I want Pimp to get on, because she's a social worker and it's going to deal with the reality of what's going on in these school systems as far as our children and them parents, you know, instead of them doing it, some people take their kids to school for them to get a meal. Some kids take their children to school to to for their teachers to be their parents instead of you being their parents and getting in their butt at home. So what are our schools now? What do you, and that's gonna be the topic next week. I kind of thought about this yesterday when I started. I mean Friday when I started creating the thumbnail, which kind of segue into what's going in our school system, because when my daughter was doing virtual school when the pandemic hit, man, you would man, some of the stuff I heard and some of the stuff that I seen on these cameras made me think of, are our teachers getting paid to be teachers or parents? Because a lot of parents are not parents; they're just dropping them off. They're like, you almost think they the auntie or something. They just dropping their kids off. What's going on, Shayna? One of my biggest supporters, her and her husband Jason. Y'all go check out Jason's gun collection. Another one of my dope brothers, man. Go check out his gun collection. He has one hell of a gun collection. But that's what's gonna be the next week. Is gonna be, are our teachers are they parents or are they teachers? What are our schools being used for? Normally, you could tell what parents are doing what at home. So definitely gonna have Pimp as she already said yes sir. My sister is willing to come on. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. So she said yes sir. So my sister will be on next week. Yeah, Guns and Barbecue. He definitely got a great collection for sure. Jason Ewing definitely got a great collection. Go check out his collection video. But what is I to me, our school systems are used as a babysitting or some parents. What are parents using the school system for? That's what we're gonna do. Not necessarily teachers, but what are the parents using the school system for? Is it to go send our children to school to get a hot meal? Is it there to just get them out the house and have them sit somewhere for a couple hours? Oh, Shayna got some nice ones in there too, y'all. Don't sleep on Shayna. She has some stuff in that collection as well. So definitely go check that brother out. Him and his wife, two of the dopest people I know. But what are parents using the school system for? I use the school system for my children to go learn. Don't get your ass in there doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. Get in there, listen to them teachers, head first. What's going on, William? Yeah, we gonna dive into that, man. I was gonna do something else, but we're gonna dive into what are the parents using the school system for. I'm using mine to go educate. Hey, you get in that classroom, you there to make friends, but at the same time, the first thing you go to school for is to learn. You better not give them teachers no hard time. They call me talking about you up there acting a fool. I'm old school like my daddy. I'm gonna go in there, man. You gonna have a couple things to say to each other, and you gonna take your back in that classroom and act like you got some sense. So next week, what we gonna get into is what are parents using the school system for? Some are using them to go get a hot meal. Some are using the school system to go to school, or just to send them, their kids somewhere so they can get out their face. Some parents are using the school system for what it's supposed to be used for, and that's to educate our children. You go there, you get an education, nothing more. I mean, if you can exceed to your highest level, and I won't take nothing less than that. If your teachers call me, we're gonna have a problem. What's up, Jason? Jason finally got in here. Yeah, that's true. Treat it like it's your job. Absolutely. If I get a call saying you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, we're gonna have a big problem. And I don't think you want to have a problem with me. So I remember one time I used to talk a lot in school, and one time I got in trouble, and the teacher called my dad, and my dad came up to the school, and he whooped me in the bathroom. I was so mad at him, and he went back to work. But that taught me that, man, school is to go learn. It's a facility, and what we pay them for is to teach you what they need to teach you, that extra curricular activity. I ain't down for that. So that's what my daddy used the school system for, and my daddy wasn't playing. To this day, back then when I was a kid, I thought my dad was an asshole. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought my dad was an asshole, but One thing I could say, I only been to jail for tickets. I haven't been to jail for anything that I don't need to have my hands in. So my dad told me that. My dad taught me how to work. My dad taught me how to be a man. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you can't do it, let them know straight up you can't do it. And be a man of your word. So shout out to my dad, Curtis Edward Sims. He was a great father, a great provider, a great teacher. So definitely shout out to my dad. Oh, for sure, Jason. You know, there ain't nothing but family over here. So definitely, y'all, go check them out. Jason does have a channel, aka he is a tactical turkey. So go check out the tactical turkeys as well. They come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I want to say around 7, 8 o'clock. And they come on Saturdays, late Saturdays. So definitely check them brothers out. They over there doing big things. Go subscribe to their channel. Go show them some love. I only got 4 minutes, man. I enjoyed you guys. I definitely thank every single one of you guys for coming in, rocking with me. The Pimp, 1984. I definitely give you a call sometime this week. But she will be a special guest on next week as we talk about what our parents use in the school system for. So we'll definitely dive into that next week. I think that'll be an interesting topic with the children. So what's going on, Jag? Jag has definitely been one of my supporters as well. Well, he's family now. He's not a supporter, but he's family. Definitely been in my life since I've been starting live. So thanks, Jag, for coming by. I want to thank everybody for coming by, man, rocking with me for this hour. Normally I go to 3 o'clock, but I got to run to work a little early, so it is what it is. Yeah, that's true too. Guns and barbecue. What? So shout out everybody came through. Guns and barbecue. Thank you, brother, for coming through. The Pimp. Thank you, sister, for coming through. Jag. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Jason and Shannon Ewing. Thank you guys for coming through. Willie, thank you for coming through. Arthur and Like Guns. Thank you, brother. Who else came through? Right? Yeet Yeet. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. OG $2. Y'all make sure y'all go check out OG $2, man. He makes the barbecue sauce and the seasoning. Go check my uncle out, man. Go support my uncle for sure. Robert, thank you for coming through. Robert Harrison. I'm shouting out everybody that came through today, y'all. Howard J, thank you for coming through, brother. Misunderstood 22, thank you for coming through. Javon, thank you. Silverback Tactical and Defense, thank you, brother, for coming through. And Kevin Carbon, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you guys. Later on today, my Fly family will be coming on. I think 7 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken, 7 or 8 Eastern. I could be wrong, but check around your time, 7 or 8. I want to say 7. And their topic for the day is growing as a firearm owner. So definitely go check them out. Go check out the big homie, a regular gun guy. He comes on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Check out Carbon Q. She come on Saturdays. I want to say 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock. She comes on. So definitely go support these guys. They support me, so definitely got to show them love. Guns and Barbecue. He comes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Definitely go check him out. I'll definitely let Anybody else? It's just off the top of my head that I know that comes on. Check out the Pimp Show. My sister, she does hers pre-recorded, but definitely when she drop them, definitely go holler at her, go look at her videos. So that's it, man. Go check out everybody's lines throughout the week. Show each other support, show each other love. And I'll catch y'all next Sunday. Next Sunday, I will have the Pimp, my sister, on next week. We're going to talk about what does the parents use the school system for, and what is the school system meant to be used for. So we'll definitely dive into that, get into a little bit of that next week. See y'all next week. Oh, Tackleberry Bug, check him out. He comes on Wednesdays, Wicked Wednesdays. I think that's the only time I believe he comes on, but check him out. Wicked Wednesdays is oh my God, is Bug, Tackleberry Bug. Make sure you go check him out on Wednesdays. And that's it, man. Love you guys. Y'all be safe. Be aware of what's going on around you. Keep your eyes and your body alert when you're out here, because this world is definitely one of the worst that I've seen out of my 38 years of living here on Earth. But y'all definitely stay strapped and stay dangerous, as I forget who says that, but also stay aware and be vigilant around what's going on around you. And I'll catch y'all next Sunday, man. Go check out everybody that I mentioned throughout the week. And see you then. Love you guys. All right, family. Be safe.